Let's do this!
Hey, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Tyler.
And we are
Car Collectors.
Alright, so we're going to be doing a game review on Impossible Mission 2, developed in 1988 by NovaTrade, published by Epix. Impossible Mission 2 is a direct sequel to Impossible Mission. It follows the story of Elvin Adambender trying to seek revenge, and you must search through his 9 different towers searching for 6 musical pieces. There are duplicates, so you need to watch out for them.
You start off in a random tower, and you have 8 hours to complete the mission. This may seem like a good amount of time, but you lose 5 minutes every time you die, and you die a lot.
In each room, there's a lot of different enemies you'll find. For instance, there's an antenna robot which shoots lasers out and kills you instantly. Then there's a claw robot that'll actually push you off the platforms, and it could kill you or it could actually just push you right out of the level. Also, there's a mine-laying robot which lays out mines. If you run over them, you'll blow up and die. Then there's also some robots that actually just go back and forth and doesn't really seem to do much else. Then there's a spring robot, which if you jump on him, it'll actually allow you to jump a little bit higher.
Also in each room, you have to search all the objects in order to find items. Sometimes, though, you'll find nothing and you'll die in the process. There's 6 different kind of items that you can use by going to the computer on each floor. There's one that resets the platforms to their original position, and then there's another one that resets the platforms to their alternative position.
Then to aid you against the robots, there are a couple items you can use. For instance, there's the Unplug the Robot item, which basically temporarily paralyzes the robots. However, you gotta watch out, because as soon as they reanimate, you're doomed. Also, some rooms are dark, which is nice, because you have to navigate through the dark room to find the computer so then you can finally use the light to light up the room.
Then there are some weapons. You can lay down a mine and have a robot run over it and blow up a hole in the floor and the robot. There are also 5-second fuse bombs, which have a similar effect. You can use these fuse bombs to also blow up the safes, where there are only 1 per tower and they're difficult to find and to navigate to.
From the safe, this is where you get the musical piece. Like we mentioned earlier, there are 6 different musical pieces. However, if you listen to the new musical piece you just got and you realize that's a duplicate, make sure you rewind 25 units, because that's how long each musical piece is, so that the next time you get a musical piece, it'll overwrite it. This is where you really need to be careful, because if you mess up, there's no going back. Like if you accidentally rewind and it's actually not a duplicate, you won't get that musical piece back and you have to reset the game.
Also, while you're searching, you'll find numbers that range from 0 to 9 and have 3 different colors. You use these numbers and put it in the pin assembler to unlock the access point to the next tower. However, you want to be careful not to go to the next tower before getting the musical piece for the tower you're in. Otherwise, you won't be able to come back and you'll have to reset the game again, because the game is very, very forgiving.
Alright, moving on to the graphics. The graphics are pretty mediocre. All of it's really solid colors. There's no real variations. You can understand what the objects are, which is a good thing. But other than that, the animation is actually pretty good, especially about the crouching and the jumping.
The control is really bad, and it's really awkward. What makes it awkward is that when you jump, you always jump the same height and the same distance, which makes progressing through the screen an impossible mission.
Also, there's a couple of things about the controls that you'd never be able to guess on your own. You'd have to look up in the manual or an online guide, like we had to do. For one thing, the items. Just to use the items, we had no idea. You had to guess. Luckily, we would be able to find an online guide on how to use them. You first go up to the computer. You can only use 1 item at a time. You select the item you want to use, and when you want to use it, you press down and B.
Because select or just B, or the only button you use are the arrows and
The A
jump.
button.
So there's no reason you couldn't just use an item. The audio has some good and some bad aspects. The good is when you play back the musical pieces, it actually sounds pretty nice. And the only other good part really is the sound effect when you fall and die. It's just really amusing. At one point I actually had it set to be my text message alert on my cell phone.
It was quite amusing to just send him a bunch of text messages and just hear the...
Yeah, and so, I mean, other than that, there's really not much to say about the audio. It just doesn't play much of a factor in the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that the dying sound effect is the best part of the game, and part of what makes the game so bad is just how absurdly difficult it is, and how easy it is to die, and the time restraint that goes along with that. Because of this, we've never really gotten much past the second tower, because we always end up running out of time, and we get pissed, and we're not enjoying the game, so we just rage quit.
Yeah, basically. It has some qualities, like the animation, the audio.
That's what saved it in the ratings.
Honestly, the idea of the thing, going through 9 towers, it's randomized, it's
pretty
difficult.
good concept.
It's a cool concept, it really is. The musical pieces, it's kind of different.
It's unique.
There's not much games where if you do one thing wrong, you can continue playing the game, but you'll never actually win.
Right.
Because you missed that one bit.
So, thank you for watching. If you've
very
played
much.
Impossible Mission 2, let us know what you think of it.
Yeah,
Because
please.
you might actually like it, and if you do, put your case up for it and tell us why you think it's better than maybe how we feel it is.
Right, oh yeah, definitely. We're more than willing to hear out cases.
Yep. So, that was our review. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yep. And I'm Jacob.
And I'm Tyler.
And we are
Car Collectors. Bye.
See you.